are, and welcome to the best of 2022 episode of the Friday Night Movie Podcast, where we talk about all of our favorite things according to a random selection of categories that we make up ourselves. And I just want to kick off by saying it's great to be doing this episode in person with both of you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. It's pretty special to be here together.
Happy New Year.
So,
yeah.
Becky hates New Year's.
I really don't like New Year's.
Oh.
There's like things that I care so much about, like birthdays. Birthdays are
and
all my love
ingredients to food.
Yeah. New Year's is the opposite end for me. I negative care about it. I gladly would cancel celebrating New Year's.
New Year's is not a thing I care about specifically as an activity. If there's a thing I want to do, like go see fish on New Year's or sit in my house.
No, for me, it makes things less fun. Like, Mom's planning what's going to be a fantastic party for New Year's Eve. I have no doubt it's going to be wonderful.
A karaoke machine to her house.
Yeah, let's not get into that. But knowing that it's on.
Probably a second one, by the way, because when she called me and asked me about a karaoke machine, I definitely said, Mom, you have one, because the last time we did New Year's at your house,
I think she had to buy one.
Yeah.
But because it's for and in celebration of New Year's Eve, it makes me already not like the party. And I feel terrible about that because I know Mom's planning this amazing party that everyone's going to love. We're all going to have the best time. But I automatically don't want to go because it's celebrating New Year's.
See, for me, if there's a thing happening, like I said, like a concert or some other thing, and it happens to be on New Year's, that's fine. But then it's mitigated by the amount of inconvenience associated with it. So, for example, New Year's at Mom and Dad's house is mitigated. Like, the fact that I have to travel to another city is a drag. But the fact that once I get to that city, I don't have to step outside again is a huge plus.
Fine, yeah, agreed. Yeah, no, I mean, my rule was, the reason we're throwing a party is because my rule was I will come to see you in Philadelphia, but I will not leave the apartment.
Yeah, it's Lily and Jose that are the wild cards. They're the ones who we will
I
only attend your party.
I have never gone out. I have
else.
never gone out on New Year's Eve and have had fun.
What about
and have it been
Hold
worth
on a second. We went to fish in Miami, and then we went to IHOP.
I've been in New York
Fine,
City.
that's the one time.
We threw up. Lily and I threw a New Year's party.
The country. I have a good track record with New Year's. I'm fine.
Lily and I
Terrible
threw a
track
great
record.
party.
I don't even like to get into
The
it.
question is, will Mom be able to hear the karaoke?
I know, because Mom.
Oh, is she going to be Bluetooth right into it? She'll be hearing too much karaoke.
So,
We were at a restaurant the other day, and she was like, "Oh, I can hear the music through my hearing aids."
Mom's hearing aids
Have you
are
called her and talked to her on the phone through her hearing aids?
They're not good as iPods, AirPods.
Mom's
I said, no,
hearing
just
aids
switch out
are
to the
100% the best of 2022.
Yeah.
Because
She'll be upset that we're outing her that she has hearing aids.
is
I
she?
think the hearing aids out her that she has hearing aids.
No, they're very discreet.
They're very discreet
Yes,
looking.
but when she answers the phone as if she has a microchip in her head, somebody might ask.
Hello? You can video. You're like, hello? Can you?
I think somebody might ask
you hear
where her phone
the
is.
aliens are talking to me. I mean, she's so like.
She's very cute. Poor Asher was crying. That's my little one, was crying next to her. And she was like, "Oh my God, Lily." And I was like, "Mom, you've never complained about Asher crying." And she's like, "It's the pitch. It's the pitch." And I was like, "Just take the things out. I'm so sorry."
But also, it's unclear to me when they're actually on. Are they? Do you have a sense of when they're on and when they're not?
No.
I don't think I spent enough time with her around, like, with the hearing aids in, because she just got them. This is like a late addition to 2022.
Yeah, but they came in. They're like an Oscar movie that gets dropped like mid-December.
Like The Fabelmans.
And yeah, exactly. An Oscar movie.
Honestly, we can cancel the whole show and just talk about how much I love that movie.
That can be a different episode. But that might be one of your best. So anyway, so the winner.
All over my
So the
back.
winner of
Wins
2022 is
2022.
Mom, of course, with her incredible performance.
I don't know. I kind of want a little bit of credit for 2022 for what we pulled off for Lily's birthday.
This is true, too.
I need a little bit of like 2022 best.
Seems to have traumatized the two of you, and I think birthdays have been canceled after that. But
I don't want my own presents.
Shine and I keep being like, No more birthdays. We're
No
not
more
buying
birthdays.
anything.
I
I said
I
at breakfast, I went to breakfast with Allie and Becky, just the girls, and I was like, "So Jose's turning 45 in March." Both
45 is not a real birthday.
like,
There's no half milestones. No half milestones. We can't do it.
Yeah.
We can't do it. 75 maybe, but not 45.
Yeah.
45 gets nothing.
Yeah. 45, you can take him on a
That's
trip.
what Becky said.
That's what we all, we agreed.
That's a you take him on a trip situation.
All right, let's get to these categories.
Okay, we got a lot of categories. Okay, I'm just going to run down the categories, and people are going to answer, and some of them make sense, and some of them don't make sense. Okay, Lily, what was the funniest thing this year for you?
You know, I feel like I don't get to watch a lot of comedy because my partner at home makes me watch just terrifying things. So
I wonder if we should do this rapid fire if we're
Yeah.
going to get through everything.
Okay, so
we're already getting a lot of backstory as to why
feel
you
like-
don't have a lot of answers.
Okay, I feel like one of the funniest things for me was the amount we got to repeat the lines from Inventing Anna. And say, "You're poor. You look poor."
It appears better.
Yeah, like that was one of the best gifts of the pop
But
culture
that wasn't-
world.
That's
Question, and it's a very long answer. Okay, so funniest of 2022.
Becky, it's Shorzy.
Yeah.
I think.
Jersey.
You just read my
Well,
you always do that.
I'm just saying it's Shorzy.
I'm not. I'm getting my own outline. I'm not participating in the Google Doc anymore because
I
I
have
always
Shorzy
write my
in another
answers
place.
on,
Lily-
and then she answers for
Lily
me.
does a few things. Lily, not only does she does that, she also recounts your conversation off podcast as if that, like she always says, like we were just talking about this earlier.
Yes.
What do you mean? Oh, like we were just talking about this before.
Yeah.
Oh my! I'm so annoyed right now. I feel like this whole episode's been ruined for me.
Why? Because I feel like we all agree that was the
Yeah, but I
best.
also don't feel like you have to take the words out of my mouth.
But it's true though. That's the only funny show.
Yes,
this
but
year.
you
only
didn't
funny
wait
show
it
this
down.
year?
I mean,
you
I
two
lo- I
dum
wrote- I
dums.
wrote- I
You
wrote-
two
I
dum
love
dums.
that-
Put your list together. No
I
one
didn't
put
put
it on
anything
it.
down.
I put it on. I'm not going in the Google Doc. You can put the questions in the Google Doc. My answers are going separate.
But I have
in
him.
my notes.
That's
I
fine. I
have
don't
Shorzy
need
in other
proof
places.
that you're prepared for the episode.
I love that for you.
Or
Was
this way
very
you'll never
funny,
know.
and Bros was very funny. But I can't think of that many funny things. This
It was
year.
going to be Shorzy and Letterkenny, but
I would
Lily
say
already-
the
I don't think Letterkenny's as funny as
I
Shorzy.
can't podcast with her right
Okay,
now.
so hold on a second. A couple of things. Let me sort this out. Number one, the introduction of us to the Letterkenny universe via Shorzy, I think was an overwhelming development in things that I laugh at because
Yeah.
the
That's what I was
words,
trying to say.
the
I didn't know there was a
repeating.
spoiler that Becky thought Shorzy was funny.
It's not that. It's that I
She
wrote
wrote
it down.
one note down in a 3-page outline, and she wants to make sure she gets credit for
Okay,
it.
I
hold on
want
a
to be able to
second.
say, because I haven't prepared much else, but that I prepared, so I'd
But
like the
here-
opportunity to say
I want to say
And it's
something.
Just obnoxious.
Shorzy is more accessible. But now having watched
Letterkenny.
10 seasons of Letterkenny and the 11th one just dropped,
It's just funny and such an extraordinary.
it's masterfully funny. It's like there are things that are not funny, but the repeating, there is a scene where they just quote Tragically Hip lyrics in a town meeting. That's one of my favorite things I've ever seen in my life. Like Letterkenny,
Shorzy has given us some roundabout type.
Shorzy distills a lot of what's great in Letterkenny and is a more accessible show. Either way, okay, funniest thing. Okay, scariest thing for me is definitely Moshari. Moshari was
Watch on Vimeo.
The
You can watch it on
soft
Vimeo.
touching in X was pretty horrifying to me. that still makes my neck kind of curl up, like everything, like my toes curl and I get all like, eh. But Moshari is the biggest jump scare.
Yeah, Nuha Shumayan Moshari. That was an incredible.
Watch it on Vimeo. It's
Watch it on
22
Vimeo.
minutes and it's worth it.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then
I stopped
Did you
watching
mean to write The Witcher in the?
No, I stopped watching The Watcher on Netflix because I was just
Because you were like, "Where's
we were
Henry
like,
Cavill? Did he leave
No.
this show too?"
Is he really leaving?
He's left. He's gone. And he got fired as Superman all in the same month.
he's having a
But
rough
can
Christmas.
he go back to The Witcher now that he's not going to be Superman?
I don't think he's going
No,
back.
I think he burnt that bridge.
Yeah, I
he
think he
didn't like
burnt
where they were going with the
They
story.
have a Hemsworth now.
The smallest one.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm playing the video game, and that horse is not dead.
I know.
So
that's- I
clearly,
think-
they didn't need to kill the horse.
I feel like he probably was like, "You're killing the horse. I'm out." The Watcher was it's on Netflix. It's like a Bobby Cannavale and Naomi Watts.
Oh God,
There's
no!
the house
I read
that someone's stalking.
I read the article about
the true story.
Town. I had to take a Xanax to go to sleep after that. I was
I watched
so terrified.
the first 2
very
episodes,
upsetting.
and then I just turned to my husband and I was like, you know what? No, I'm not doing this.
It's so upsetting. It's so deeply upsetting.
Yeah, so I passed on
because
that
no
show.
one gets murdered. Like nothing happens to anyone, so you're constantly living with this.
Well, in the true story, but in the show, they murder a lot of people.
They kill a lot of people. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in the true
Anyways,
story,
I was just like, that was the thing this year that I was like, ugh, I don't want to watch that. And Black Phone, which I never saw, but like, I'm annoyed at Ethan Hawke for that movie.
You're just scared of.
Yeah, I don't even want to.
That's your kind of movie.
No, but like, there's a lot
like
of
an
like
insidious,
kids.
haunted piece of furniture.
But I just feel like there's a bridge too far. Black Phone. So, and The Fall was kind of fun. That was like a fun scare. I'm afraid of heights, so I found that very.
The Fall was intense. X, which we just recently watched,
I
was.
didn't find that scary.
I'm just very upset that you had me watch X, not telling me that you had The Fall in a back pocket somewhere for the next.
I didn't even know it
definitely did
existed
not.
until the minute we found it. Like,
We
I didn't
found
know.
it on like scrolling through Amazon.
So the
I had no
algorithm is like who's not in the room, and that's what we'll put on.
Yeah, I guess because
Like a reverse algorithm?
I've seen the preview for Fall many times and never
never
wanted
seen
to
it.
see it.
I've never seen.
I was voting
I didn't even know
for
it existed.
when we were alone. I was voting to watch Pearl, the prequel to X,
Everyone
because
voted against
because
him.
X was.
I have no interest in
terrifying
any
and
part
thoughtful.
of that story
Okay,
or those
all right.
people.
All right, so scariest.
That's the worst of
Music.
2022.
So music moments. This one is always so important to me. I'm going to lead this off, and I think the first one on my list is I think maybe the first one on all of our lists, and that is RRR.
I have another one.
The
but
dance
sure.
scene in RRR, and when I say the dance scene, there is the dance off, but then there is also the best friends dance,
where they tear each other on each other's shoulders.
which then pays off
Which
later
pays off
in the
at the end of the movie.
They show me an adult man piggybacking on his shoulders another adult man. If you're not going to
in
bring
the
it
first
back.
act.
In the first act. If you're not bringing
Then
it back.
show it to me in the third act.
I mean, it's
incredible.
Very.
So that to me was because it was unlike anything I've ever seen. And then coming back to X, I think the scene where Brittany Snow sings Landslide was so incredibly terrifying and skin crawling and encapsulating this theme of right. What's scary about X isn't that it's a horror movie; it's this like notion of what is beauty.
They go into that montage, that terrifying montage.
Like getting ready
and
for
when
bed.
you listen to the words,
So good.
I mean, it just basically the movies tells you like old people are disgusting.
well,
That's what the movie's about.
I think the movie is criticizing the fact that people think old people are
and
disgusting.
society makes people like old people grotesque.
It's definitely fighting for more sexualization of very
old people,
very old,
like in their 90s.
Yeah. And then
And it's a warning that they might die from sex.
or from carrying dead bodies. It could be either one. You could have a heart attack from pretty much anything, so you might as well
don't
have
be a
sex.
murderer when you're really old.
No, I think it's also saying that just because you have a heart condition doesn't mean you shouldn't have sex because you might just die from carrying a dead body. So enjoy having sex when you're
a lot to unpack with
130.
and then I think the other best moment of the year of musical moments on screen, Dan Byrne as the troubadour
absolutely.
in Menorah in the Middle.
I have another one though.
Okay.
To me personally, there is no scene, but of any, not just music, of any form whatsoever that beats Milchek in Severance.
You are right. That is,
Music Dance Experience.
that's going to go
Dance
all
Experience.
time. That's going to go all time.
That's
You
Music
do
Dance
not know,
Experience.
just me and my husband in the living room doing the moves back and forth to each other because that episode 7, that Music Dance Experience scene was probably one of the best things I've ever seen. Jazz, it's like aggressive jazz that he puts on or something like that. Like the name of the jazz record she picks. It's like aggravated jazz or something. And it's just epic. That scene to me is one of the best things I've ever seen ever.
And
on anything.
Tremel Tillman.
Tremel Tillman.
Who I
He's
don't
on
know-
my MIP.
I don't know. I don't know how famous he was before. It's not an actor I was aware of, but it was like
He's like an Emmy winner to
overnight
me now.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Like overnight, the man's a star. And you're right. That's
brilliant.
That's not only best of 2022. That is, I think, best all time.
All time. Like one of the best scenes ever this year or ever I've ever seen on TV.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
All right. Let's. Okay. So we're Jews. We care a lot about Jewish representation in film. What was the Jewishest thing
The Jewishest, or like the Jewish thing that kind of felt good?
I'm calling it that category.
So whatever that category is, the first thing that came to my mind was the short that we saw, which you can see on Omeletto or Omeletto. I can't forget how to say that service.
I don't know. I call it omeletto like omelets, but it might be called omelito.
Omelito.
I don't know.
Okay. How many E's are there? 2 or 1?
I don't know.
One, but you can watch it on Omeletto.
Looks
for
like
free.
omelet.
It's called The Book of Ruth, the short film by the incredible Chen Drachman. It is fantastic. It's beautiful, and it's sort of like a family gathering around Passover where a mystery is revealed about one of the members of the family, and it's beautifully done and very much centered around like World War II and Jewish families. And then last night, The Fabelmans blew me away.
Yeah.
And how like it's subtle, the Jewishness, but it's so rich. And I find that walk that balance is incredibly.
They feel authentically
nuanced.
Jewish because you're not making them Jewy. You know what I mean?
I see what you
mean. You don't have to exaggerate the quote unquote Jewish characteristics.
Like in
it's
Transparent, which is a great show in many ways. Judith Light's accent is so heavy-handed. What the shaking, lox and the bagel
and the shaking and the neuroses and the arguing with your kids in the middle of the argument. You're making them eat food. Like it's too much. It's extra.
This was woven into the fabric of the film, and it's just so beautiful.
The little, like the way that the mother-in-laws are each, they're a couple of lines each, and the way that they're positioned, and the little things that you see around the house that are Jewish, and the way in which the main character Sam faces anti-Semitism as a teenager, and the way he reacts to it, like it all just feels. I don't know,
the way that they did a beautiful
very
job,
genuine.
and specifically in Fabelmans, the way. I don't want to give anything away, but the way he, in a sense, resolves the anti-Semitism part really comes in the second act, third act, when he's a teenager, and the way he resolves it, which also is like this very deep metaphor for how Jews have navigated Hollywood
and live with it
and live with this,
that to me is
live with the
fantastic scenes.
I mean, it feels like scenes. Spielberg is talking to us on many levels when he in that storyline, and I think as Jews, I really feel like he is speaking to us.
To me, that's the strongest part of the movie. That part of the movie, the first part is interesting and very heartfelt.
It's how he's sharing his inspiration for film.
And his origin story and where he came from and who his parents were. And it's very real. But the part that blew me away was the way in which he navigated being a teenager in this school, being a non-Jew, and interacting with the kids who are either religious or anti-Semitic, and then especially how he ties it all together.
We can say they're not really that quote in quotes Jewish, right? Like it's not like
it's part of who they are.
It's part of who they are, but it's not the central point of the story, and it still affects him. And so I thought it was so well done. And Shai, you have another thing on your list.
Oh, and so I would, and then I would say the other thing is everything from David Baddiel. I was introduced to the book this year, Jews Don't Count.
And then his documentary.
And then the documentary on Channel 4 in the UK, which is a great accompaniment to the book because it elaborates and it brings some other voices into the conversation. Right. And I think it's really helpful. Reads. Not everybody. I mean, I didn't read the book either. I listened to him narrate it, which is amazing. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, it was like the audio book was fantastic.
But I would just say about the book Jews Don't Count, for those who haven't read it and want to learn about present day anti-Semitism, this is a great entryway. For those who have a question on their mind of like, how can I be an ally to Jewish people? I don't really have an answer to that question a lot of the time, but lately my answer is, look, just listen to this book or read this book, and I feel like by just doing that, you're opening yourself up to seeing things in a certain way, and like that's enough. Just go do that. And so he's amazing. So those are my Jewish things. But there was a lot of other. I mean, I feel like there was a lot of good Jewish stuff this.
Well, you guys watched
the holiday movies, Menorah in the Middle, Hanukkah on Rye were both delightfully authentic.
You guys watched, there was like a bar mitzvah movie or something?
Oh, yeah, 13. 13 was a very sweet movie.
Was this the Brad Mitzvah episode? Did that come out this year or was that last year?
That's
might have been. If it was at the beginning of last year. Either way, the Brad Mitzvah.
Was Shabbos Goy this year that we saw it for the first time?
That was last year.
That was for sure last year.
But I feel like we saw it for the first time.
We saw it in March of last year, but I think it's 2021 or it's before 2022.
Anyways, Shabbos Goy, also available on Omleto or Omleto. So
Shabbos
people
Goy,
should check
another
that
great
out.
one.
Always. Talia Osteen, anything she's
not from
making, people should see.
No, I'm saying, but I think we saw it in 2020.
Right.
All right. Now let's get into the nitty gritty, the big awards. Okay. This is where we're going to get into the MVPs, the MIPs. We're not going to do LVPs unless someone has something when they talk about they truly hated, because like that's
No.
if we have something you truly hated, then
Like The Irishman set such a high bar for me of things I hate. It's really hard to come near that. So
MVP Lily and Becky, sorry, MVP movies. What were your MVP movies of the year?
ask her first. She wrote 2 things in the outline. Let her say
Let
one
me
of
go
them.
back to my outline that I've
Look,
Make sure she gets to say one of the things she wrote down.
Becky, don't get mad at Lily now because Lily's just giving the people what they want.
Well,
People,
Becky's insane reaction says
not insane. If you listen to all 350 episodes, you'll see the number of times I write something down and then you say it.
okay, so
really
first of
annoying.
all, let's take an aside before we get to the big award, and let's just talk about insane behavior. We were at a restaurant the other night, and
think
the 3 of us were arguing over. Wait, no, hold on, I'm getting there. The 3 of us were arguing over who should order what, and it was Lily or Allie had to stop the conversation and just tell the waiter they're siblings.
I was
Don't worry.
getting
it's not
annoyed because Shai was ordering things for the table and I
You're
didn't
getting
know
anxious
what
that
he was
I'm going
ordering.
to get to order for you.
And yeah,
And because Lily was paying, you were worried I was going to use up all the amount of money she was willing to pay for dinner.
If I'm
I
at the
did-
dinner,
I did-
if I'm at the meal, I'm happy to pay for it. It's when I am charged for meals
also
I wasn't at. I
very
don't like
happy
to,
to let other people chip in.
So then the other most insane behavior was the other night when I lost my mind because Lily didn't let me top my own pizza.
I let you. You didn't get off the couch to do it. So I don't know.
That is a bastardization of the story. I sat around
As
asking
Allie
like
is
a
my
child,
witness,
saying,
so-
when can I decorate my pizza? When can I decorate my pizza?
All you have to do is stand up and walk to the kitchen.
No,
You
I
need
was
a
told
personal
those
invitation.
pizzas were for the kids, so I just sat there not eating the
I'm
pepperoni.
so happy we're going through this history once again.
Anyway, so I lost my mind for
Shy acts insane too. That's all we're saying.
I lost my mind for about 25 minutes.
Over a pizza.
I'm going to be honest, I don't remember anything I saw from January through June. I have no recollection.
You know, I think
but
I
I
need
do
to start writing
remember
it, like starting
I do.
January to
I need
start writing it down because as of the summer, that first 6 months,
I think
don't
that's
it's
a
not
great
big.
job for either of you.
But I will say one of my highlights of the summer was seeing Everything Everywhere All at Once. That for
All of
sure.
us together.
All of us together, but I
everywhere in the living room.
loved that movie. That was just everything that I love. I loved how strange and original.
To be fair, that was on my
was.
list first because I wrote that down first.
I don't think you did.
I did because I completed the document.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, and I would say my top 3, not recalling anything that happened before June, because I'm sure there were good things I saw, would be Everything Everywhere, RRR, and as of last night, The Fabelmans. Fabelmans for sure is in my top movies of the year. It's a total buy. I loved it so much, and I know I'm going to watch it again. And
I feel like I just don't see that many. Like I don't see that many movies.
Those are the big 3 I would recommend. Did I
Did you just
go
say
to the
I feel like I don't see that many
Yeah,
movies?
like I
Someone
don't
in our
watch it.
family said
No,
that.
but I feel like I
Like,
watch more shows
relatively
and
speaking.
like I
But
think
like
much more TV.
What did I go see in the theaters? Oh, you know what? I mean,
was the Batman from this year? Because that movie was terrible.
I love the Batman.
The Batman was this year. It was
That was
good.
2022?
Great. That was great.
Such a
And you know
long
what?
year.
I think
Long movie.
if I were to do for a kids category,
I'm gonna sue them for that trailer.
for a
That movie was 3.5 hours long. That trailer makes it look like it's an hour and a half tops.
for kids movies, I am going to shout out to Strange World because I think that movie was wildly underrated, and I think as far as an MVP for kids stuff, I saw a few different kids movies, like new kids movies this year that came out, and that was the one that my kids loved the most and that I enjoyed watching with them the most.
That's great.
All right. Lily, what about you?
Everything, RR and, everything everywhere. I'll let Shai say his. I love the things I just love.
Lily's previewing the notes.
Well, because
she's just gonna make sure
I
that
wrote all of the
everyone
above in my
knows.
notes for yours, but I don't want to say yours because I'll get in trouble. So I'll just say
I'm
mine.
not going to get in trouble with me.
Okay, try it. Say his list. See what really happens. Go on, say his list. See how he feels.
One of the things on Shai's list.
Expressions.
One of the things on Shai's list is Top Gun, which I think we can all.
I can't believe you just took Top Gun from him. He saw it like 4 times.
We all liked
in
it.
Yeah, but he saw it the most.
No, I don't own Top Gun.
So I'm saying that was a special experience for
great.
everyone, and you can comment on it in a second. I'm just
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm just saying that honorable mentions, I feel like, are. I should have gone last. Honorable mentions are Hustle and The Adam Project. I really liked The Adam Project.
Yeah,
was so
you really
fun.
liked it.
Oh, that was
it was
I
a lot of
forgot that
fun.
one quickly.
I thought it was
The
a lot.
Hustle with
And Hustle with Adam Sandler, I thought was great.
That was
a
great.
great
I
movie.
just recently
and then
saw
there's
it.
Bullet Train and stuff, and those were fun, but those are not my MVPs. That was like a movie I definitely forgot about.
Just overall, this is gonna go down as one of my favorite years of movies, like since the 90s. Like my top movies are Top Gun, the Weird Al movie, Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I'm throwing it in there because I got to go to the premiere, and that's the first time I think I've ever been to like a real premiere. But like I had so many fun viewing experiences. Saw Glass Onion in the theater, and you know how much I don't like Rian Johnson after Last Jedi, and it was delightful.
Only movie I saw in the theater this year was the fucking Batman.
So
Violent
to be
Night,
clear,
Spirited.
everybody liked Glass Onion better than Knives Out.
No, I didn't.
I did.
I still think I like Knives Out.
I think I
better.
like Knives Out.
I did not.
They're
like
meaner.
Glass Onion was a bit.
funnier.
I thought that it was like Glass Onion was a bit messy, but it was
I
cute.
thought it was so fun. Anyways, so
Great
my
to see Ed Norton again.
my MVP. So if I have to say like my best, my number one movie of the year is RRR because
More than Top Gun? No, Top Gun beats that.
because RRR is unlike anything I've ever seen. But Top Gun to me is the best movie.
Okay, but let's move on to MVP TV shows because these are even better.
Okay, so for me, I have The Bear.
Yes, that's
I have The Offer, which controversial in this house. I love The Offer so far. I haven't finished it, but so far I'm loving The Offer. The Vow, just the experience of getting to watch The Vow, which is the one about the next.
You know what? My MVP is listening to you two talk about The Vow and then uncovering all the people in your lives that you know that have been directly involved with
recruited to
them.
that cult.
That is amazing.
It's your new podcast. Interviewing
just
people.
interviewing people who we didn't know were in NXIVM or almost were in NXIVM. That's amazing how close. I didn't tell you I was talking to somebody else the other day, and he answered me and he goes, "Oh yeah, I went to high school with Sarah Edmondson."
Jesus, you can't throw a shoe in this town.
Yeah, or like so and so was at her bat mitzvah. Like,
Wow.
yeah. So, so
That was
yeah.
that experience of watching it with you. That is 15 episodes we watched of an hour-long show in real time together.
It was insane. And season 2, it's like again, it's like if you watched all of Jaws and then they don't show you the shark until Jaws 2. That's how crazy season 2
and there's
was.
2 years between them.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then I'm loving, despite any like oddness about it or incompleteness about it, because
Or
I haven't.
possible no second season about it.
Yeah, I mean, in the sense that I haven't finished the first season, but Willow is just so delightful, and my kids are enjoying it so much. And sometimes it's really cool to just like let the kids enjoy something and not have to ask all the like grown-up continuity questions, right? Like the kids aren't asking us like, why is that modern song in the end of this episode? They're just it's all old to them anyway.
They're just enjoying it.
They're enjoying it and they love the characters and there's scenes. There's a couple of scenes that just come back over and over again. And I love Willow, and seeing Warwick Davis with the young cast is super fun. So those are my shows. Lily, how about you?
No, let Becky go so she can just say more.
All right, Becky, go.
No.
Her notes literally
Lily
saying
go.
Lily.
But I put myself below you in the order, so you would go, and then I would go, oh, same as
in
Lily,
order of
and I'm
people
going to
who
add.
respond to the outline. I'm second
since I-
because I'm
Lily,
Right, so
3
I,
weeks ago, I
responded
I'm going to
last,
decide
and I just
Lily
said,
is going.
And then I just will go, same as
I
Lily.
am going to jump a category and include a category here of I Told You shows.
God.
Because I Told You
Oh,
shows.
you're going to just wrap it in.
I'm wrapping in
one.
the I Told You
I don't
shows.
have any I Told You shows.
Right, I'm the only one that answered that category. I'm going to wrap in my I Told You shows when I give Becky and call her a genius for telling me to watch Severance. And I resisted
I really had to
greatly.
convince you.
And I was not a fan, especially since Shai said that I had to fast forward the first 4 episodes.
But didn't you feel that way?
I mean, there's a lot of hall acting, like walking and acting in the hallways. There's a lot of acting, walking. So yes, but it was a great slow burn, and that to me is an I Told You show for Becky. and I think the best show I saw this year. It's the show besides The Bear, which I mentioned, that I talked about the most with people, being like, oh my God, you have to watch this. Then I think White Lotus season 2 was fantastic and also gives me so much joy. And Shoresy, which was a gift beyond anything I could have imagined for 2022.
So I'm going to agree. Shoresy and White Lotus are probably the tops.
And I agree with Shoresy. I don't just exclude.
Yeah, Shai already said The Bear, and I'm going to add to the list a very cute British show. I thought it was so sweet called Heartstopper, which is adorable.
Via Amanda.
Yeah,
Amanda
very adorable. I'm going to add that to the list, and just like a sweet little watch. And I really enjoyed Wednesday, and I think Jenna Ortega is so engaging. I mean, the show is great. It's great. Whatever. It's cute. But I wanted to see every single episode because I love watching her.
She's a star.
She's the reason I'm going to watch season 2 is because I want to watch her. Everyone else, it's a fun story, but she's worth it. So those are my additions to the list. Oh, and you know what? Honestly, let's not forget about Bridgerton season 2. That happened earlier this year.
Season 2? I think season 4. I think they're up to season 4.
I wouldn't call it my MVP, but that was fun.
It's not MVP, but it's pretty great. It's pretty great. Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Should we move on to actors?
MVP actors.
You go, sure.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
So for me, Io Edeberry in The Bear is
Yes.
the most amazing new person. I didn't know who she was, and I think she's just incredible. And she's also a writer, and I feel like we're at the tip of the iceberg of what she's going to end up doing for us as people who love watching good, funny, or intelligent things. So Io Edeberry is amazing. And then my other MVP is Tatiana Maslany in She-Hulk, because that show took a lot of my sense undeserved crap. Again, I look at Willow also as these things. My kids enjoyed every minute of She-Hulk. They weren't sitting around being.
I think people take things too serious,
and they didn't like the CGI. They were like, the CGI is kind of weird, but they weren't taking it apart. They were just enjoying it. And Tatiana Maslany is the reason. She's the best living actor. She's incredible.
Okay, I don't mean to harp on it, but I'm 100% sure Lily edited
I did not
answers after I answered mine.
No, and I added Shoresy to yours.
No, because I saw yours and you were like, no, and I was like, oh, nobody put Shoresy in. I'll put that in as my actor MVP. I'm just going to take screen captures next time because
it's fine, but I definitely didn't.
Lily, it's your turn.
Shai, you know that I wrote it first.
I'm not playing this game.
I had
this is not
fun.
I
doctored was that I added in brackets Shoresy to yours, Becky, but otherwise mine was the same. I never touched mine. I had Jeremy Allen White, which I am so excited he's getting his
the edit history of this document.
Sure, go ahead. I can't wait till you do, and I'm going to post it on our Instagram. Oh my God. Jeremy Allen White is finally getting the recognition he deserves. He is brilliant, and I thought he was so good in The Bear. So I thought he was awesome. And then I have Jared Kiso from Shoresy because I thought he was amazing. And Sharon Horgan, it's kind of like an extra shout out to her because I liked Bad Sisters. It's getting a season 2, which I don't see how they can do that.
Is it an Apple show?
Yeah.
Because Apple tends to commit.
It seemed like a one. No, but it seemed like a one and done. It really completed its story, and it seemed like more of a mini series.
Maybe season 2 is Batter Sisters.
Maybe, but she's so great, and she's a great actress, and she's really funny, and so I wanted to make sure that people knew about
the
that
end
show.
of Catastrophe. Still haunts me. It's so good and so right and so haunting.
So
why
she's awesome.
the end?
So those are mine.
They stay together.
But you just don't really know. They're off.
I don't know.
No, they're off drifting.
They left their kids on the beach. They went for a swim.
Into life, into the unknown, and there's crazy waters. I just think it's so poignant and deep.
Right,
I love that.
Go ahead.
No, I have nothing to add. You guys have said everything.
Okay.
Wait, you don't have any other MVP actors on this whole year?
Kiso. She didn't.
Well, I didn't finish my list because I'm always afraid to finish my list because Lily's just going to steal it.
Okay.
I can't wait to see the edited.
Most improved actors, shows, MIPs.
Oh, no, wait. Oh, no, I have one for MIP that I didn't write down.
Go ahead.
That I've been thinking about. Okay, so don't worry. No one else would have thought of this. I was harping on it last night a bunch. But, okay, so I'm watching The Offer. And the guy that plays Francis Ford Coppola...
Jared Fogler.
Dan Fogler.
Dan Fogler.
Jared Fogler's the pedophile from Subway.
Oh, God. Sorry, Dan Fogler. Dan Fogler, who also plays Uncle Marv.
All right, so...
He's perfect as him.
So the reason I say because he always plays such a caricature, right? Uncle Marv is a lot. It's funny, but it's like so much. And to see him be a lot more toned down, but still really effective. And it's almost surprising to see him in the role of Francis Ford Coppola. But I really enjoy it because it's not like I don't know anything about Coppola, but he seems like this, larger than life, very intimidating character. And he kind of plays him in this very everyman way.
And
he's like sneaking a cannoli.
And early in his career. Right. He's not Francis Ford Coppola. Like, he's picked for that movie. See, I love The Offer. Yeah. He's picked for that movie because they were like, well, he can get it done in the budget.
Right. And and I think, so for me, that's a real improvement for Dan Vogler to see him in that role.
All right.
I'll
Lily?
go quick. It's Tremel Tillman from Severance, Milchick. At the beginning, I was just like, ugh, this guy is just like, who is this actor? Like, who is this guy? Who's this character? Who's this actor? I just didn't really see, it seems so superfluous in the show. And then by the end of the season, obviously he blossoms in episode 7, and I think that actor's incredible. And then I have The Boys season 3, because I think Boys season 2, I was almost going to give up the show. I didn't think the season was that good. And then, my God, did season 3 bring it.
Season 3 is
so good.
Fantastic.
So I feel like that's like most improved show.
You know what I'm going to also add to most improved? I'm going to go back to Bridgerton, and let's talk about Anthony. Season 1, could you care less about him? Right. Probably not. And season 2, so great.
Plus, we were in the same doorway as him in London.
Blinded me with his beauty.
Yeah.
My most improved, it's going to be one, I wouldn't say, it's not that, the one that's most improved for me, and I give the I Told You show to my kids, is a show called Ghosts. Not the British version, but the American version of Ghosts.
I can't get it. They won't let me.
Good one.
I watched the American version with my kids, and they love it, and they're so into it, and as a result, it has made me really love that show. And Utkarsh and Rose McIver are great in that show, and it's delightful, and we watch it together as a family. And that was a show that I immediately wrote off when I first heard of it, and and now I'm really into it. And that's on CBS and Paramount. My kids now know how to log into Paramount, unlike anyone else in my family, in order to see that. Okay, any non-movies or TV things you want to talk about? For example,
that's what this podcast is about. So no.
No, you had one on your list. Yeah. Didn't you put Normal Gossip on there? Normal Gossip.
That was a wonderful
shout out
gift.
to Janine, to my friend Janine.
I love when
getting that on all
I've
of our
run into
radars.
random people who listen to that show.
Oh,
and talk
it's so
It's
good.
amazing.
It's so great.
So addictive.
Nothing I care about less than regular people's
It scratches an itch.
It's really good.
You didn't even know you had.
For me,
Can I do a different shout out?
yeah, sure.
I'm going to do a shout out to your music video Scraps.
With the dog.
That's a wonderful, wonderful. Everyone check out Scraps.
Howie, thank you for another amazing musical experience. I was going to say, What Does It Eat? Scraps, video and album was an amazing experience. And then getting to do art for Dan Burns' album. And having
wild.
That's about the Tony Kornheiser show. That's like a hat trick or a triple something or other. I don't know what they call it in golf. Whatever it is that was just. I'm still
all in one.
Away by
What do you
that
mean in
experience.
golf?
What are you making up extra golf terms?
I don't know.
All in one,
and that's it. There's no other terms.
I don't know.
A bogart?
Below par.
I don't
on
know.
Par?
I don't know.
Under
Maybe there
par.
are more.
Under
Par
par.
4.
Under par.
Maybe there are more terms.
Under par. And then I don't know. Maybe you need 9 tennis rackets in tennis.
That's a very deep cut.
That's a deep cut because I bought Allie a giant tennis bag for her birthday. And then because I did commit to reading this year, I granted their graphic novels. The AWA comics are fantastic. Not All Robots, fantastic. And I just finished Absolution, which was amazing. And then in the world of theater, Alex Edelman's Just for Us. If it comes to your town, you got to see it.
That's the best Jewish thing, the best non-movie thing, and the best thing we've seen this year.
Yeah, that's the best Jewish thing. That's amazing. What about you, Becky?
I feel like we did the list together.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
we were
fine.
doing the list together.
All
I
right.
think we can go down to Shomo.
I mean, I would say my only other highlight would be seeing Muna with you and Silk Chiffon live. It was such a great audience, such a great performance. I mean, that was a really fun one.
That was pretty fantastic. Shout out to Leslie Murray, who met us. She's from the Muna team, who brought I made some art for the Muna crew, who and she brought it back, and she was so nice about it. And then show emotional moments. My most show emotional moment, and this is such a weird one, but my most show emotional moment this year was at the end of Menorah in the Middle, when Sarah and Laura Silverman, when they do their scenes, they're so sincere and heartfelt when they come in and they connect with the family and the father whose bakery is in trouble. I just thought they just brought it and they committed to it, and I loved that. It makes me very emotional every time I see it.
Oh, sweet.
It was really beautiful. I really appreciate how Sarah Silverman put her heart into what could have been just like, a cameo in a cute Hanukkah movie, but I feel like she really made it really sweet. So,
All right.
And I had...
And they're siblings, and that's cool.
They are. I had, Ethelfled's death in Last Kingdom got me.
That was this year? No, that was like 3 years ago.
No,
When was
this
that?
year?
It's hard to remember who's who.
It was this year. It was 2020.
Oh, then I think this year was also the final season of
Becky's just now remembering things live on the podcast.
The Expanse. The final season of The Expanse was this
Oh,
year.
it's at the beginning of the
Very beginning of the year,
That
because
was
I watched
pretty
when I was
great.
recovering from my surgery.
That was
The
pretty.
Expanse.
That was pretty emotional.
Yeah, I'll give that my show emotional. The ending of The Expanse.
I'll just keep
the Ethelfled death. I
it
was
was at
already.
least
I was already
2
over
years ago.
Ethelfled at that point.
No, but
When did that come out?
It was
This year.
You watched it on the plane home
On the plane home from what?
from London or something, and you cried the whole time.
Yeah, that's right.
I was over
I
Ethelfled
cried
by the time she
so
died.
much.
He's had so many wives and
I
girlfriends.
thought
I
it
cried
was
a lot when
beautifully
what's his
done.
name died, the young one.
Offred.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Osford.
Osford. I was
Or
so
whatever.
sad for Finnick. That's what I was really crying.
I was just really happy none of the
talking
guys I
about
like more
mine.
died.
And I thought the whole final season was so emotional because the series finale. And then I thought her death was, oh my gosh, that hit me hard. Then I have Dead to Me, the series finale I definitely cried. I love that show. And shout out to Christina Applegate. God bless her. And then I thought the Heartstopper ending was very sweet.
I know, but knowing that there's going to be a second season, I'm now just nervous.
I didn't know there was going to be a second
There's going to be a second season. I'm just a nervous wreck.
I didn't
not-
know that
it's
when I
not
watched
gonna-
it.
yeah.
but-
I'm already excited. There's a second season of Les Trois Pains, the
Oh,
Three
the
Pies,
Pines. Shy and I are watching a Quebec.
Oh, you guys are watching it?
with Alfred Molina.
Wow. No loyalty in this room.
Why?
No loyalty.
What? Oh,
Fine. I cannot believe you started watching without me because you dangled it in front of me the other day and you're like, oh, let's watch this. I'm like, that sounds great. Then you put something else on.
I think Becky's going through something today. Something's happening.
I mean, that's possible. I did that, but I feel like an Alfred Molina slow burn mystery.
Next time, then
Do you
I
need
have a tea. I'm drinking a chamomile, and then next time,
something stronger?
the next time I have a movie night, I'm just gonna take a picture of all the nice food, send it to you, and then lock my doors and not let anyone over.
And on that note, where can people follow you?
Have a terrible New Year.
Where can people follow you?
At Friday Night Movie Sisters.
No.
I'm just letting people know what FNM stands for. At FNM Sisters on Instagram. But you're
FNM.
only following me because Becky doesn't do
No,
anything.
Becky's there. She's in the video. She did the.
you talking about?
We did
That was
the whole
for-
review.
That was barely.
By the way, my other
every
favorite
day
things of
I'm
the year
humiliating myself for our Instagram account
is Lily-
all by myself.
is Lily talking to the camera while skiing. It's one of the best things.
Tiny helmet.
In her teeny tiny, but also she's
brutal.
just yelling at the top of her lungs. Oh my god!
It's brutal.
She sounds like mom mad at me for pretending that I can't hear her.
It's bad.
All right, and you can follow me at Pancake and the number 4 table. All the Friday Night Movie shenanigans at Friday Night Movie. The theme music is by What Does It Eat? Happy New Year, everybody!
Everyone but Becky.
No,
Yeah.
I want Becky to have a Happy New Year.
Well,
I'm right behind Becky in how I feel about New Year's.
So no Happy New Year's Day.
I just need a nap, guys. Okay.
And a cookie, maybe.
A cookie.
A snack.
Good night. I mean, goodbye. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, love you.